Every journey has a beginning, and mine started in the quiet strength of my father's legacy. He was a major in the Indian Army, a man of unwavering discipline, integrity, and courage. In 1965, my father decided to take a voluntary retirement from the Indian Army and take on a completely new path, which is starting his own security business. A man who had dedicated many years to the army life, this transition was anything but ordinary. As a young girl, I didn't fully understand the magnitude of his decision, but I could see the effort and discipline it took and the adaptability he embraced to navigate this new path. Watching him work, I learned that resilience is not about avoiding challenges, but about meeting them head on. It is not about finding no solutions when the circumstances are far from ideal. It's about showing up every single day, even when the path isn't clear. It taught me that failure isn't a dead end, it's a stepping stone. There were times when his business faced several setbacks. However, he never gave up, and his actions instilled in me a deep belief: resilience is just not a quality, it's a way of life. And so, from my father, I learned my very first great lesson, that resilience doesn't just help us survive, it helps us thrive. And it sets the foundation for extraordinary achievements. This foundation set the stage for my own journey ahead. They say extraordinary journeys often begin with ordinary values. At the age of 23, I decided to do my master's in England, which was a complete leap into the unknown. I was quite amazed with what I learned. I learned the value of global exposure to new cultures, perspectives, and ideas, embracing independence and gaining the tools of leadership. It taught me that education is all about learning to see the world with new eyes. Adventures always begin when we step into the unknown, and meeting so many different cultures and people, it really broadened my horizon, and I realized that growth and learning comes from stepping out of your comfort zone. I have been fortunate after I came back from London to India. Since I did not get a work permit being very young, I decided to enter the corporate world, and I was very fortunate to work with some renowned brands. Throughout my career, I had the privilege of working with different roles that have not only shaped my professional journey, but the way I approach life. At first glance, a job is just a title with responsibilities and tasks. When I started at Yahoo, Starbucks, Veromoda, and Vogue, my roles weren't extraordinary. They were opportunities waiting to be shaped. At Yahoo, it wasn't just about handling sports marketing, consumer marketing, or B2B marketing. It was riding the wave of digital transformation and understanding how technology meets the needs of people through personalization. At Starbucks, being a part of the early launch team and heading the digital marketing and loyalty program in India, it was learning that it is just not about doing your role, but the fact that a cup of coffee can be more than a beverage. It's an experience. At Veromoda, I saw firsthand understanding the importance of staying agile and your audience. And the key learning also was fashion moves fast, and so must your strategy. I made the transition from marketing into sales after several years of being in marketing with Vogue, where I was heading the sales for West and South for print, digital, events, and partnerships like branded content. My learning was to create partnerships with various brands that told impactful stories. Each of these roles may seem very ordinary, but by innovating, going the extra mile, questioning the status quo, and focusing on impact, we can elevate it into extraordinary. Each professional milestone for me wasn't just a destination, it was a stepping stone in crafting my own legacy. Since I worked across diverse industries, whether it is technology, F&B, media, and fashion retail, there were so many learnings that have helped me pave my way. The biggest learning for me was adaptability. Aligning your skills in a completely new environment, meeting the unique demands of a new environment, is so important to survive and also thrive. Innovation. Developing ideas and creating differentiators is extremely critical. Legacy building. For instance, a great campaign or strategy isn't just successful, it leaves a legacy. It changes the way people think about your brand, the way the people interact with your brand. It's also what you leave behind for others to build upon. So we talk about legacy, it's not just about a legacy left behind by a very famous businessman. It's also about the small things and small campaigns that make such a lasting impression on the customers' minds. My past experience and learnings throughout my journey have paved the way into my entrepreneurship journey as a first-time restaurateur with the launch of my brand Blue Bob Cafe, which is located in Linking Road, Bandra. When I set out to create Blue Bob Cafe, I didn't just want it to be another restaurant. I wanted it to be an experience, a place that would resonate with people beyond just food and drinks. Our mission was to create extraordinary dining experiences and also build a community with jazz enthusiasts. However, we launched it 3 months before COVID, and we had to shut down, and my dreams were shattered, and I just did not know what to do. I was really scared, very fearful, because we had invested a lot of capital and money in the business. However, my inner voice said, "You can do this, don't give up." I owed it to myself, my family, and most importantly, my team to survive this. I got calls from my ex-bosses telling me, "Why don't you join the corporate world again, because your restaurant is not going to probably even start again." And they were not saying it from a way that they didn't want me to succeed, but they were being very realistic because no one knew what would happen to the hospitality segment during COVID. However, again, the lessons learned from my parents, looking at so many other things, I said, no, I cannot give up at this point. So my team and I quickly adapted to this new life by launching delivery services in 2020. We started following all of the crazy amount of protocols like hygiene and social distancing, the timing protocols, open, shut, and we also started adopting a lot of tech platforms to make it more convenient for customers to interact with the brand as well as order food from the brand. We wanted to build a community for jazz enthusiasts, so my entire positioning of Blue Bob Cafe changed, where earlier it was focusing more on live music, but because of these 3 years of no live music allowed due to social distancing, I had to reinvent the wheel and completely start the brand anew with a new brand identity, new product offerings, a new focus on it being a casual diner, not just a place to visit for live music. Adopting all of this made me realize one thing: extraordinary moments are created when we refuse to let challenges define us. I also believe resilience and reinvention is what made us survive COVID. We restructured the menu, focused on creating differentiators, innovation. We made all our breads, sauces, dips, syrups for cocktails in-house. We focused on very high quality. It was more like affordable luxury. We diversified and launched our own bakery brand and our own gelato brand. So whatever we could do to create more business extensions and to make sure we survive, if not thrive. So I always believe one thing: resilience drives reinvention. Every challenge becomes an extraordinary opportunity to survive and thrive. Well, so what happened in the end? I think we were very lucky to have such a wonderful team. I do give all the credit to my team on this platform, more so because I know what grit it took for everyone to stick together and achieve. A strong team can make any vision turn into reality. It's been 5 years, almost 6 years now, full of ups and downs. We've only had resilience, we've had passion, perseverance, and due to all of these ingredients coming together and us collaborating so well, we have won several accolades and appreciation along the way, and have immense gratitude for all the love and support we received. By staying true to our vision and adapting to challenges, we proved that with passion and perseverance, even the most ordinary concepts, or simplest concepts, can become extraordinary. Extraordinary isn't just about doing what has never been done. It's about doing the ordinary in ways that touch hearts and leave lasting impressions. this is a personal journey which I really wanted to share with everyone. I started a very different journey into trekking and marathon running, which in my life I have never done. I mean, even to kind of walk for more than 10 minutes, I was like, oh no, I cannot do it. But I pushed myself and said that I need to jump off the cliff and out of my comfort zone. So I set some personal goals and I completed my Everest base camp just 7 months back. And the journey has been so fulfilling because every step taught me grit, preparation and perseverance. These physical challenges mirrored my professional ones, facing discipline, resilience and also learning how one should not have self-doubt. Pushing past these boundaries really helped me create extraordinary milestones for myself, and a lot of this helped me with my professional life and my personal life. What do we mean by extraordinary? Extraordinary is not about creating an invention that no one's ever done before. It's all about adding the extra in your ordinary lives. And how do we continue to do that, right? We wonder what can make our life extraordinary. It's the very small things. One is by adding the extra, we need to just pay attention to details. We need to stay consistent. We need to keep learning. We need to constantly celebrate not only our wins, but everyone's wins around us, because when you support others, miracles happen. I think it's always great to build a community of people who support each other. You have to listen and adapt. Adaptability is super key. You have to go the extra milestone. Many people think, okay, now I had to work for 8 hours, why should I put in 2 hours more? I'm getting my salary and I have to go home. But you don't realize that maybe if you sometimes put in those extra hours to do something you've never done before, you will have results that you've never seen before. So also enthusiasm is very important, to show enthusiasm, be excited and passionate about what you do. It could be the smallest of things, like a baker who wakes up 2 hours early because she wants to make the freshest bakes in the neighborhood compared to anyone else, right? So I think it's all about adding the extra in the ordinary. The extraordinary is already within each one of you. All you have to do is you need to go and create it. Thank you.